I want to talk today about the four stages of the Marxist takeover because we're experiencing it firsthand, especially in the United States. And if you go all the way back in 1984, there was a gentleman by the name of Yuri Bezmenov, and he was a Soviet journalist and former KGB informant that defected to Canada. And back in, I think, 1984, he started to talk about what was happening in America and what was to come. And the four stages, now listen to this because this is insane that this guy predicted all this. The way he predicted it, because he lived through it in the Soviet Union or the former Soviet Union. So he said the first thing that's going to happen is demoralization. And where are we seeing all throughout our country right now? And what he meant by this is the process by the students in schools, they start being controlled by the disciples of the left. And they start to indoctrinate a set of beliefs and values foreign to those of the American tradition. We see that everywhere. Everything that's going with the alphabet mafia, with the discrimination against people with Christian and Muslim faith, and everyone else that's standing up and saying, you know, this is wrong. Why are biological men using women's bathroom? They're trying to normalize it, and then they're trying to criminalize people who stand up against it. Okay. And he said this back in 1984. Even in the 90s, when I was growing up, if someone would have said this was happening or this was going to happen, like, hey, it's going to be okay in America for especially teenagers and young kids, for biological boys to use the girls' bathrooms and go into locker rooms and change, we would have thought it was insane that this would never happen. But this is what they have been doing for decades, is slowly infiltrating every level of office, all of our schools, our businesses. And now we have this indoctrination in full force, and they're starting to discriminate against Judeo-Christian morality and saying that that morality is evil. So that was step one. So they've already accomplished step one. Step two, destabilization. We're witnessing that firsthand. Look at the invasion that's happening from the South. They're allowing all these illegal immigrants to go through it, and they're strategically putting them all throughout our country. All right. So they're destabilizing it. How often, or what else are they doing to destabilize our country right now? Well, look at crime. It's going crazy, crazy. And they're allowing these criminals to continue to get out of jail, no bail, no nothing, get out. And what do? Repeat the crime. There's no justice right now. That is all a plan, folks, to destabilize our country. The third stage is crisis. Name the crisis. We've already been through many, many crisis situations here in the past, and it's going to be coming here in the future. And then the fourth stage is finally what he said is normalization. This is the new normal.